Hello, fellow parents and educators. Thank you for joining me at Education Evolution, where we are disrupting the status quo in today's learning models. We talk about present-day education, what's broken, who's fixing it, and how. I'm Dr. Maureen O'Shaughnessy, your host and founder of Education Evolution and the Microschool Coalition, where we are fiercely committed to changing the narrative, to reimagining the education landscape and creating learning that serves all children and prepares them to thrive. If you are new, welcome to the podcast. Please subscribe on our website to get it delivered to your inbox weekly. If you've been around a while, have you left a review? Hi, Lori. So good to have you today.
Thank you so much. I'm actually very humbled at your work and really excited that we've connected.
Lori, listeners, is amazing. Lori Moore of Kids Connected has 17 years in public education, and now she's shifting to be the education director at Kids Connected. She is excited to bring about a school choice option that has long been needed for students and families. With experience in virtual schools, public school districts, and general homeschooling, she joins Kids Connected to develop a program that focuses on the whole student, which we all love. Kids Connected is committed to providing parents and teachers the resources they need to make this schooling option a reality. And I can't wait for her to share with you about this cool program.
Yes. Yay. Thank you so much. That was great. Yes. Kids Connected, we basically created our school and our brand on 5 pillars. And really, we're looking to diligently collect form classes and collect things on education, socialization, entertainment, exercise, and nutrition. And we really want to help today's youth with that lifelong success, but also support parents while they're raising their children as 21st century learners. And so our program is currently offering two types of programs, really. Our online platform is basically enrichment activities where it's anything you can imagine. It's Legos, it's Minecraft, it's drawing and sketching. It's anything that can enrich a child's current curriculum. And then we also have what is I'm really passionate about is what we're calling our guided homeschool program. And in the guided homeschool program, we really want to provide families. We know homeschooling is not for everyone. We know virtual school is not for everyone. And we know there's things that our typical public school brick and mortar classrooms can change. And so I kind of brought what I saw needed to change and brought it into an existence. And basically that program was built for families, what they need, what students need, and really what teachers need, because we have 1 live class a day. And with the full guided homeschool program, the teacher is with the class all year long. We have mandatory attendance so that the teacher, even though we're virtual, the teacher can then offer the connection piece. She can get to know her students. The kids can then work together and in all their classes. And so we can provide what's missing from some virtual school options.
And what a relief. Parents have a teacher that knows their kid that's there every day, and kids have some social interaction. Both are so needed right now.
That's right.
I saw on your Facebook page that you guys had just had a Diamond Dale's Atlanta gym mining. I want to go on your field trips. How do you come up with so many amazing things for kids to do?
Yes. So that's really exciting. We just launched our field trip division because we're so focused on getting back outside and getting kids experiences. So in the past 3 weeks, we've actually hosted 3 field trips. Currently, we're focusing on field trips in Georgia and field trips in Florida. And it's expanding. We've connected with so many Atlanta vendors and then reaching up into the East Coast as well, so that we can offer face to face, but we also have this virtual option. And we were finding that a lot of companies and vendors are having to adjust because they have this great educational platform, but yet they don't have anyone there learning. And so we wanted to connect everybody and bring it all together. And again, support one of the pillars that we were founded on.
I love that. Yes. And I also like that one of your pillars, your exercise, nutrition, you're talking about the physical body. I feel like everybody's talking about the weight they're gaining, how much more sedentary they are right now. I really feel like to be vital and alive, we need to be taking good care of our bodies. And how do you weave in those aspects when kids are sitting in front of a screen most of their days?
That's exactly right. So our guided homeschool program, with the one live class a day with some independent work followed up with that, families have the opportunity to get outside and learn, to go explore, to focus in on the whole balance of being a family, being a learner, connecting with different people. And so that balance, we're really trying to provide resources for families and for parents. And we've put all of that up on our blog as fast as we can, trying to meet all of those needs that families are seeking right now within a pandemic and then going forward permanently.
I love it. And that's the silver lining of this really troubling time, is that we're getting so creative about educational options and that this will get to continue after the pandemic. I think that is so important. And we'll make sure to have in the show notes how they can find your blog and get this great information.
Great.
I'm wondering, Lori, you've done so much in education. Why did you pivot to this model, and what are you finding as some of the challenges of what you're doing right now?
Sure. Well, I pivoted because I saw what I wanted to change. And I was really excited at the opportunity because it basically gives me some say in what I know teachers need, what I know students need. And I'm finding that there's so many connections out there to be able to provide this platform for families and students. And it's really exciting on my end because now I'm getting to look at teachers that want to provide in this environment that they may have never even thought they could have done prior to the pandemic. And so I'm going to be able to be working with a whole bunch of people that have shifted their mindset.
I love that. And I love that you're getting to go with your passion, because I think for education innovation to stick, we have to be aligned with our passions and go what we feel really strongly about. So that purpose, that passion. And I think that's a winning combination, and it's showing up in what you are producing. That's really cool. Can you tell me a couple of ideas that you would suggest that could support parents as they help their kids with online engagement? I just feel like so many parents are pulling out their hair and
Yes. So I've had a tremendous experience with being able to teach online with a virtual school full-time, public school thrown into virtual school, and then with a lot of homeschooling families. And so my advice to parents is, don't just focus on core academics. If you're working with a teacher or a tutor and they're not providing it, they might have that reason, that push for the core academics, but teach learning strategies, because kids need to know how to be an active listener. It has to happen. Direct instruction has to happen. That's when new concepts are taught. And students might need some support in what does an active learner look like? And we have some visuals out there that can help parents, guide parents with, okay, during this short segment, this is how your body should look. And how you should respond to be a participant in the online classroom. Also set boundaries, because a lot of parents are working from home, whether it be just one parent or both parents. And so setting those boundaries and saying, investigate a little bit, when mom's door is closed, I'm taking a work call, investigate a little bit. It's okay if you get a little frustrated. I'm going to come back. But when I have my door closed and I'm taking this call, it's your job to explore and try to solve the equation, try to find the research that you're looking for. Also, parents, please utilize us. Utilize the teachers. We need to know what's happening with your kid, with your child. Utilize a tutor if you're homeschooling, because your job is really to be their biggest supporter. It's really to be their sidekick. Make sure that you're basically saying, let's look at it together. Students get frustrated when they're not knowing how to navigate a new system, especially in this virtual world, or meeting the expectations of the assignment. And in that case, I hope that the teachers posted a grading rubric. And then the parents, then you can say, let's look, maybe how did you not necessarily read through the rubric fully? Or how did you not read the directions correctly? So be that sidekick. And another great website that I'm a big fan of in the virtual world is commonsensemedia.org. They basically really want parents to open the dialogue, use technology to learn, create, and participate. That's what 21st century learners do. And get your children talking when they see things they aren't sure of, and tell them it's okay to ask questions, and really kind of go back to, my final tip would be, go back to embracing screens. I find myself as a mom often saying, all right, your screen time is up. Your screen time is up. Limit it. But it's very engaging to kids. Parenting Magazine actually just released some best apps. And so if, we can get our kids on the right engaging apps, not just exploring the internet wildly, we want to encourage that. And then I can't take credit for this either, but when my husband and I were in our foster certification class, we were attending a parent class that suggested that you have a docking station. So you allow the screens, limited screen time, but have a place to plug up, because we don't want to, I'm going to check your phone, I'm going to catch what you've done. It's not that. It's just teaching them to be good digital citizens, embracing what's out there. Kathleen Morris actually has some really good tips and printable posters and things like that to help guide you as a parent as raising these digital citizens.
Oh, those are great suggestions. I know with teenagers, we had the docking station idea for nighttime phones. We did not want phones in bedrooms. We had old-fashioned alarm clocks so that they wouldn't get beeped in the middle of the night. And in a common area, those phones were there at 9:00 every night. And it was just a norm from the get-go. And a lot of parents set up contracts. If I'm going to get you a phone, if you're going to have your own device, here are our expectations. And front loading with clear expectations, I think you're right. Technology is here. So how are we going to choose the good apps, and how are we going to manage it instead of forbidding it or letting it be a free for all for the 2 hours of screen time and then nothing? Let's use it wisely. That's super smart. Taking that engagement topic, I'm sure you have some suggestions on the teacher end, especially since you've taught online. What are a couple of engagement ideas you would have to help educators make sure that the students are engaged?
Sure. I love that. I first suggest teachers, I know most of us went into the field for the kids, but without connecting with parents, it is really, really hard to get the full support of your students, especially in the virtual world. I mean, it's the same for face-to-face too. But there are ways that you can connect with parents that's not so intimidating. My favorite communication tool was a blog. And that way it was a place where you could continue to parents could refer back to if they missed information. Because I don't know about your email, but mine, everything gets, jumbled up and lost. And which email account am I checking? A lot of learning management systems allow for teachers to post their newsletters and updates and announcements too. So, whatever is sent in email, I would definitely suggest to post in the learning management system. Another thing that I kind of learned with trial and error was office hours. So my first year with full online teaching, I was so frustrated because no parents were coming to my office hours. And I was like, what can I do? I want to help you. And so I figured out that if I created topics for parents, so that they could know what I was going to talk about. They didn't have to come with a question. They could just come and listen if they didn't have a question. And some great topics that really worked for my online families were like math tools, what you could use at home to support your student, how to use it, freebies that you can find online to have at your student's desk. And then, I loved my office hours where we screen shared the student view of our learning management system. So the parents could see where I was guiding the students and what the students were talking about, or maybe pieces that were connecting for the kids. And then also, I'm a big data person. And so I hated just shooting out data to parents and saying, here's where your kid is. So it was more like an open session where I explained what the data meant, what are norms for ages, for developmental, because not that we want to compare kids, but we want to give parents ways to celebrate where they're beyond the norm, and then ways to remediate, because we need that. We need to fill in the gaps to keep them mastering.
I love that, giving them tools to understand,
Yes.
and maybe the student is behind, but you're able to say, but look at how much gain has been made over this period, so they can know how to read the data and not just say, is my kid at grade level or below, but how quickly is my kid regaining or whatnot, just to have more power over their child's learning experience. That's not an idea I hear educators doing very often. And what a way to engage parents and have the parents and supporting the learning.
Yes. And I want to make sure, though, that the teachers are connecting with students, because there are so many tools out there that it can become overwhelming in the virtual world. And that is another thing that, there's a lot of online classrooms. I do have my favorite. I've gotten to teach on 3, but one that allows the teacher to draw, mess up, allow students to draw. It doesn't have to be perfect. And again, put your face on video. They want to know you. They want to know, just like the parents want to know the teachers and who their kids are working with. And so there's a great author, Jennifer Saravallo, and she actually has a bunch of abstract concepts that you can draw in your classroom as anchor charts. And then you can save them and load them to your learning management system. And she actually just published a new book that I've had the pleasure of beginning to study as well. And it's connecting with students online. And so one of the very beginning concepts that she mentions in her book that kind of put the pieces together for me as a virtual teacher was too much focus on technology basically takes away from what matters. Technology is great, but we have to have those pillars and care about the whole child.
I completely agree. And the whole child, we've got to be caring for their mental well-being, their physical. Are they sleeping? Are they eating? The whole kid. And right now, it's pretty stressful. So a lot of those normal behaviors aren't so normal. I have one last question for you.
Okay.
Lori, if you had a magic wand, what would you wish for learner engagement, both now and moving forward?
Oh my goodness, Maureen, can my magic wand have 3 wishes?
It's your magic wand and have whatever it wants.
Okay. So basically it all comes together. Really, that all students experience and learn in a setting that allows them to thrive, which all falls back on school choice, which I know funding and politics kind of limits that school choice sometimes, but my magic wand's going to fix that. It's also going to make sure that all students are able to connect with their teachers, and make sure that all teachers continue to seek professional development to connect with their students, because basically we just keep getting older and generations keep changing and students keep getting younger every year. So that's my magic wand.
Oh my gosh. I love it. And it's so multifaceted. It's all 3, students and teachers, and making it all come together. And thriving is a word I love. Our mantra is we want every child to be seen, heard, valued, and thriving.
Yes.
Yeah. And we forget that teachers need ongoing support and training and development and a chance to know what's going on in kids' worlds. I know I'm easily out of date on video games and pop icons and whatnot, and just didn't have enough so that we can do some connecting and then have time to connect. You nailed it. I want that magic wand. That's awesome.
Let's share it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Lori.
Thank you, Dr. O'Shaughnessy. I really appreciate it.
3-part magic wand is powerful. She and I share the vision of many options available to all learners so that all students experience learning in a setting that allows them to thrive. My hope is that this Education Evolution podcast is shining a light on some of these great options. Kids Connected is yet another wonderful resource to help learning work for all kids. We want this thriving engagement to be in a digitally responsible way. Lori's resources will help us with that. I hadn't heard of commonsensemedia.org and was pleased to find it is a digital advocacy and citizenship resource for parents, educators, and advocates. Its mission? Common Sense is here to help kids thrive in today's fast-paced digital world. For our advocacy team, that means ensuring access to quality technology and giving kids positive experiences with media that further their opportunity to be engaged digital citizens. Sounds good, right? I've added this link in the show notes. We want to be smart about how we add technology into our children's schools and homes. Kathleen Morris's primary tech resources are also in the show notes. This digital access and advocacy is an important part of the second wish of Lori's, that all students are able to connect with their teachers. Especially during the pandemic, digital resources and strategies are of vital importance. That all teachers continue to seek ongoing professional development to connect with students was the third part of Lori's wish. One way for teachers and school leaders to continue their professional growth journey is through joining a group, especially something like a mastermind, where you can get support from the group and get more skills. When I interviewed Danny Bauer in episode 28, he talked about leveling up as professionals with his Better Leaders, Better Schools mastermind. Jethro Jones in episode 29 shared about his transformative mastermind. And for small schools, special learning programs like Kids Connect and microschool leaders, our microschool leader mastermind begins in January. Again, like the Build Your Microschool course, the profits from this will go to the Bullet Garden Project, who we talked to in episode 23. To support their place, Discovery Learning Center, the microschool they've created. As an educational activist, I want to be sure to be supporting both the Black Lives Matters movement and transforming institutional inequities. This is one small way I can walk my talk and do both. Please see the show notes on my mastermind link, or check on my drmaureeno'Shaughnessy.com consulting site for more information. Starting a new business is a big job. I want to make sure small schools and programs have ongoing training and support. And let's all work to make Lori's magic wand a reality. Thank you for joining me today, Education Evolutionists. If you're finding yourself thinking, I need to do this in my school, let's talk about it. I consult with schools to help them find new, innovative solutions to reaching every student. Let's put together an action plan. Visit educationevolution.org/consult to book a call, and let's get started. Education Evolution listeners, you are the ones to ensure we create classrooms where each student is seen, heard, valued, and thriving. We need you. Let's go out and reach every student today. I'd be so grateful if you'd head over to your podcast app to give a great rating and review if you found this episode valuable. Don't wait. Please do it right now before you forget. I really appreciate it. Thank you for listening. Signing off, I am Maureen O'Shaughnessy, your partner in boldly reimagining education.